All right, time to put on that stethoscope because we're going to talk about symptoms and root problems, right? We're going to talk about separating the problem from the symptom, because oftentimes what I see is law firm owners and business leaders, we see the symptoms and we think that those are the problems. So I'll give you guys an example of this. Let's say you want to get in shape and you're out of shape, okay? And, you look at it and say, you know what? I think the problem is that I don't have exercise equipment. Okay, so you go and buy exercise equipment. Let's say you buy yourself a Peloton. Let's say, you buy yourself a bunch of weights. You buy yourself a bunch of workout gear. Great. You think you solved the problem. Do you suddenly get in shape? No. In fact, oftentimes what happens is you get all that stuff, you get all that exercise equipment, and now, it starts to collect dust, and, you start to use it as hang clothes on it and all this other stuff. And the reality of it is, it's like the lack of exercise equipment was never really the problem. Right. And in fact, you thought that was, the reason you were out of shape is because you just didn't have the tools, when in reality, perhaps the main reasons were, it had nothing to do with the exercise equipment. It had to do with the fact that maybe a lack of accountability, a lack of discipline, a lack of commitment to exercise goals, what have you, all those different things that had that been identified as the core problem and that had been approached. Then you would have seen that the exercise equipment was really just, the reality of it just was a symptom and not the core problem itself. And we do this in our business all the time, right? You sometimes say, hey, you know what? We're not getting enough new leads. We're not getting enough cases or whatever it is. And you think that's the problem, right? So you immediately go into tactical mode and you say, hey, what's this, what's the latest SEO strategy, the latest pay-per-click strategy, the latest social strategy, whatever it is that I need to do. And you're always trying to do these things that, present themselves. It seems like a great way to keep yourself busy. It's a lot of activity. And oftentimes we confuse activity, because we feel good that we're doing something, with productivity, right? And it's a major, it sabotages any sort of business success. And, the reality of it is, if let's say your new intakes aren't where you want them to be, your revenue isn't where you want to be, it's really looking at that and saying, okay, well, what's the core issue here, right? Like, what is it? Is it the fact, is it a marketing problem? Is it an intake problem? Is it something going on operationally? Is it from, capacity standpoint, we're not moving cases forward fast enough, whatever that might be. And, you might find that much of this really can stem, if you look at the root issue, oftentimes we find a lack of revenue isn't the problem. It's really a lack of reputation. It's making sure that you have, trust in the marketplace, that you're known, that there's credibility, that you have, clients have great outcomes and great experiences with you, so they leave you positive reviews and refer other business as well. So if you fix the reputation side, oftentimes that solves the revenue side, right? In fact, when I say oftentimes, I mean always. Okay, making sure you've got the right processes internally, that the intake is going right, and all those different things. So, I would ask yourself that if you misdiagnose the problem, the problem with that is that you gravitate towards solutions that are, solutions for symptoms and not the root problem. And this is a prescription for failure. See what I did there? So you really, I start with any problem that you face in your business. I always look at anything and I look at it and say, okay, well, what is the root issue of that, right? Because sometimes when you're hit with a problem, rather than jumping into tactical mode and trying to solve the symptom, you can really start to ask yourself questions of well, why is that? If I solve that, what is, basically that next level, let's say 2-3 levels down, is that solving that issue as well? So this encourages second and third order thinking as well. So if you change or fix or do something with one thing, how does that impact the next and the next and so on? But I find that if you take a step back whenever you're confronted with any kind of problem that maybe just might be a symptom, and really think about it, spend some time, maybe even set aside 15-20 minutes and really diagnose what is the root issue here. Then you can apply your resources to solving root problems and not symptoms.